Hello, State Senator J.D. Mesnard from District 13 for a legislative update. Had another busy week last week with some 80 bills that we voted out of the Senate to get over to the House. That puts us over 200 bills that we've now sent over to the House. So it's been a busy first half of the session here. One of the bills that we voted on that is up on the governor's desk, actually, is called the Arizona Border Invasion Act. And this is something that I strongly supported. It empowers our local, county, and state law enforcement to crack down on those who are crossing into our state through some other place than what is a legal port of entry. We've seen an influx of illegal immigrants, unfortunately, and there's a lot of effect to those, especially along the border, but it's also impacting our entire state. So I'm hoping the governor will sign the bill. I'm not optimistic that she will. I'm hoping that she will, because we all acknowledge there's really an invasion on the border. So we'll see. She has a few days to make that decision. We'll see what she does. One of my bills that did pass relates to the timeline that the County Board of Supervisors has to fill a vacancy when we see one pop up in the legislature. This actually happened in our District 13 last summer, where there was a vacancy, and unfortunately the Board of Supervisors took an exorbitant amount of time to fill that vacancy. And that means that the folks in our district were left with less representation than they deserve. So this would establish a stricter timeline to make sure that when there's a vacancy, they get filled in a timely manner. Another bill of mine that unfortunately went down on the roll call vote related to something I've discussed before, and that is requiring that a personal finance course be taught in our schools. I'm a strong believer that it's a real practical life skill that those graduating high school should possess. And so my bill was going to require that a half credit be required in personal finance to graduate it, just like we have a half credit required for economics. Unfortunately, the bill came up short on the votes, with every single Democrat voting against it. In fact, one Democrat went so far as to say that they found it insulting that we would require financial literacy on our high school students, as if somehow this was insulting to people because it doesn't explain why folks are poor. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, but honestly was really troubling, because he voted against the measure, even though we could all agree this would help folks, whether they're rich or poor, make good decisions after they graduate. So we'll see if there's any way to revive that bill in the process, because I remain passionate about it. Anyway, that's all for this week's legislative update. Until next time, God bless.